Hey everyone, welcome to today's StayFi Marketing Mastery Series. And we are going to cover how to upsell more effectively with StayFi's homepage product. Uh, just a little more info on our Mastery Series. 2 weeks ago, we held our first session, which was all about how to get started and be successful with email marketing. All of these will be posted to StayFi's YouTube channel, so if there's any topic you want to go back and cover again, all of these recordings will be available there. In 2 weeks from today, we will have a session focused on text marketing, how to generate revenue, and 5-star reviews. And then following that, we're going to do another session all about email marketing and dive even deeper into some case studies and learn how to send more effective emails to past guests. Before we go into all the details of how to set up your homepage and upsells in StayFi successfully, I just want to cover some case studies here. So as you know, the homepage is where guests are taken after they log into the Wi-Fi. And through StayFi, you can create a ton of different links to direct guests to when they get to this page. And right here, you can see a great example from one of our customers, Mike C. Rentals. So his homepage here has 6 links, one to purchase traveler's insurance, one for early check-in, one for late checkout, one for amenities, the guidebook, and then also local attractions. And then very cool, he's also a real estate agent, so he has a $1,000 refund if you purchase a home with them, as well as a book again link for this property and visit our website. I know that seems like a lot of info to present guests when they log into the Wi-Fi, and you might be wondering, it's a little late at that point to get early check-in. As part of today's class, we're going to talk about how you can take the homepage and send it to guests prior to the stay so that they can do things like purchase early check-in, and then you can make revenue from this type of service as well. I have here a link to his homepage. You can see what it looks like on the desktop screen. So you can see all the different options here. And for instance, if you do early check-in, it takes you right to the host code, which is our partner for early check-in, where you can go ahead and purchase that product for this listing. And I'll show you how to set all of this stuff up within StayFi. And Mike's generating up to $1,000 a month just selling early and late check-in. So, and often the properties are available to allow for that service. So it's just some extra income on top of the rental revenue that doesn't take that much extra effort on his side to actually manage and check for guests. Another case study here is Stellar Dweller. You can see a local, their homepage here. They're very good at selling services and activities from partners. So you can see here on their Hostco store that the guests can access through the homepage. They have golf rental, boat rental, pontoon rental, beach chair rental, dolphin tour. Those are all third-party services offered through the Hostco where they make a commission, and they're making over $500 a month selling these third-party services that not only generate them revenue, but improve the guest's overall experience. And you can see here through their homepage, you hit shop amenities and it takes you to the Hostco store with all of these extra services that come from third parties. Again, one of the reasons why Stellar Dweller is so successful at selling things like golf cart rentals is that they're sending this information prior to the stay. So one of the main things we're going to cover in today's session is not only how to set up all these great tours, activities, services, but then how to share them with guests at multiple points during the guest journey so that you can generate the most possible revenue. Step one here is we're going to cover how to actually set up the Hostco and Viator. Is obviously to start generating revenue, you're going to have to set up these services first. One of the things to note about the Hostco is when you turn on the Hostco in StayFi, we create a Hostco account for you. And when we do that, we have to send all of your address information over to the Hostco to create your stores because they need to know where each property is located so they can determine which third-party services are available in your area. The easiest way to import address data into StayFi without typing it all manually is to connect with your PMS. So the way you can check if you've done this is if you go to integrations in your StayFi account, you should see one of the property management software is connected. And of course, if you don't see it here, you can go ahead and connect yours. And then when you go to properties, you'll see this orange lightning bolt if you've connected the properties in StayFi to the properties in your PMS. If you see properties here without the orange lightning bolt, but you've already integrated your PMS, you go up here to connect existing properties to PMS. This will load in all your property information from your property management software, which may take some time depending on how many properties you have. On the left here, you'll see all of your properties in StayFi you've created. And if you didn't import these from your PMS, if you created them maybe before you had an integration set up, you're going to have, this will be blank here on the right. We'll say don't link. And then you pick the name of the property in your PMS to match them together. When you hit link here, it will automatically take any address information from your software and put it into each property's record. If we don't integrate with your PMS, you don't use a PMS, the other way to enter the address information is to just click on each property, and then you can edit the address information down here below. Once you've done the address connection, the second step is to turn on the hostco and Viator. You do that in the Wi-Fi experience section of StayFi. So you would go to Edit Homepage Template here. You would scroll down, and then you would toggle on both the hostco and Viator. Just a little background on each if you're not that familiar. The hostco is where you can sell your own goods and services, and then they also have third-party services that you can get a rev share from. And then Viator is the largest marketplace for tours and activities in the world. And there you can make an 8% commission on any tour or activity that you recommend to guests. And what's great about that program is if a guest clicks on your link and books within 30 days, you still get credit for that 8%. When you turn these on and hit update down here below, two different things will happen. For the hostco, we will send your address information over, create a hostco account for you, and create all the stores for you for each property. Then you'll get an email to log into your hostco account to edit your stores and complete the setup process. For Viator, we send you an email with a link and some instructions to go to Viator and create your affiliate account. Once you create your affiliate account, then that's where you can create these things called widgets and implement them and integrate them into your homepage. So once you've turned these on, what you'll see here when you go to your bulk edit homepages is that there'll be two new columns, one for the hostco and one for Viator. The hostco will automatically fill in with each of your store's URLs, and then you will go into the hostco to actually edit these, but the URLs will already be here. For Viator, this will be blank, like this one up here, and then in Viator, you create this thing called a widget, and then you implement that into your hostco, into your homepage. So as an example, once this is done, this is what the homepage will look like. You'll see amenities down here for the hostco. That will take you to the store. And then you'll see local attractions, and that will take you to the Viator attractions that you've selected for this destination. Now I'm going to show you how you actually edit your offerings in the hostco and Viator. So first, I will show you the hostco. So when you log into the hostco, you will see all of your properties here that we've imported from StayFi. You'll see the zip code here, which is how the hostco knows which local services to provide. And then you'll see how many products are by default in all your stores. When you create the hostco store, all the products will be turned on. And then when we go into a store, let's say like the Victorian House, this is where you can deactivate certain products. So just to show you here, there will be 4 products in your store that are always requests to you. That would be extra guest, pet fee, early check-in, and late checkout. Those you can turn on or off. So you can, let's say you don't want to do pet fee or extra guests, so I'll turn those off. Then for early check-in, late checkout, you can go in and edit those. So when you edit them, you can decide what the price is, and it shows you here how much you make because the hostco is free and takes a small cut of each sale. You can change the product description. And then under product setting, you can decide things like how many days in advance do you need notice to sell, let's say early check-in. Does this product require approval? Definitely with early check-in, you're going to want to have it be approved. You don't need, this is for inventory if you're selling a physical good, which you don't need here. And then you can like email other people on your team as well to be the approver. And then do you need any other additional information from the guest? You would edit these on a property basis. So early check-in and late checkout can be different by property, and you can decide what they mean for each property. Everything else in the Hostco store are all third-party services. So these are all things that you're not involved with setting up or fulfilling, but you will be notified, for instance, if a guest does purchase, let's say, 1 hour yoga class. And when you click on each one, you see for each third-party service what your revenue take is if a guest goes ahead and purchases those services. And these third-party services are going to vary by location. So you would have to create a Hostco store for your properties, and then you would see what services are available in your location. Once you've configured your stores, like I mentioned, they are already linked in your home pages. But it is important to note that you can link to the Hostco outside of StayFi. So if you go to the guest view here, you can find all the links for different products and services, and this will come in handy later if I want to make things like custom buttons or send certain things to the guest in advance. So let's say you were so focused on selling early check-in, you could send a link to the early check-in page for this property to the guest through your automated messaging prior to the stay and just say, hey, if you want to purchase early check-in for $50, you can purchase it here. The more explicit you make the offer, the higher the conversion rate. So if you just tell guests early check-in is available on this page and they have to go find it, you're not going to have as much success as if you really want to focus on early check-in sales. You send the guest directly to this link in advance of the stay, and they will go ahead and purchase it if it's something they're interested in. Now I'm going to switch over to how to set up Viator. When you create a Viator affiliate account, it will take you right here. And like I said, we send you instructions for all of this. The main thing for StayFi is to create a widget. So when you create a widget, you can pick first the destination. So let's say I want to do Las Vegas. This will pull in the top selling activities from Viator in this destination. You can add more, so you can display, let's say 9, because there's going to be a lot in this particular area. You want to make sure you leave grid view on, then you give it a name, and then you generate the code. When you generate this code, this is what you go and copy into this Viator section of StayFi. So when I hit update here, if I go back into the bulk editor and I view now the Cozy Forest cabin, if I hit local attractions, it will take me to now these Las Vegas tours, which I am displaying. If a guest clicks on one of these, if they make a purchase within 30 days, you will get the credit and get an 8% rev share. What's nice about this is on this page, because I just picked the destination, it will display the top tours available at any time. So if you're in a seasonal destination, you don't have to worry about changing these out or picking specific ones. This will always just show the top tours that are available right now in your area and won't show ones that are, for instance, are sold out. You can also send guests to your Viator, basically send your guests to Viator other ways and still get credit. So if you go to Tools and you go to Viator Selector, this will just open up Viator for you. You again can pick your destination. I'll pick Las Vegas here. You can pick on, let's say someone says they want to do a Grand Canyon helicopter tour. If you click on this and you get affiliate link, you can send this link to a guest. So if you're doing any guest communication or you want to feature tours and activities in a blog post or on your website, you can create affiliate links for any tour and activity within Viator and always get that 8% credit. So if you are providing those kind of more active guest services where you are actually helping guests plan their trip, this is a great way to share tours and activities with guests. So now that I've set up my stores, I've pasted in my widget code, I've checked all my Hostco stores, and those links should be there automatically. Now we can turn to the next step is how do you start to actually market these tourist activities and Hostco services more effectively to guests? One of the best ways to do that is through custom buttons on your homepage. So if we go back to the example of Mike C, you can see here early check-in and late checkout are right at the top of his homepage. So if those are services I want to emphasize, I would go into my StayFi account. I would go to the homepage template and scroll down, and you can see here's our custom button editor. So I would say add custom button. I would say request early check-in, get 10, get access at 10 a.m. for, let's say, $50, something like that. Then you would just hit update here, and we've added this new button. Sorry, I have to have this icon selected here. Once I've created that button, then you go back into the bulk editor, and you'll see there's a new column here on the right to request early check-in. What I'm going to then do is go to the Hostco store for this property, which is here, and I would click on early check-in, and this would give me the URL directly to this product, and then I would paste it in. Now, each store is different, right? So for the next store, I would then go to that store, select early check-in, and then paste that URL in. Then you can see here on each page, it will have an early check-in. They click it, then the guest can request it, and then you'll get an email, and then if you can fulfill it, you will approve it, and then the guest will be charged $50. And that way, you're marketing your most important services right here on the homepage. And you can create custom buttons for anything, whether it's the Hostco services or Viator services. The third step here, which is probably the most important, is to share your homepage. When we look at who is selling the most through the Hostco and Viator, it is property managers and Airbnb operators who are sharing this homepage prior to the stay. The first thing to note is that for in StayFi, when you go to Wi-Fi experience, each homepage you can hit copy link, and that will link anybody right to the homepage for that property so they can see all those different links that we've created. Right? Like the custom button is right here. One thing to note is you're going to want to send this link. It's going to be different for each property, right? So you're going to want to send the right homepage in advance to the right guest. So one example here is just we pulled this for Lodgify. I know it's different for every property management software, unified inbox. But you can see here in this pre-stay message, which looks like it goes out 5 days prior to the stay, they're sending the person right to the homepage for that property. If you are really emphasizing certain tours and activities, you could put in, hey, check out this page to both purchase early check-in or see some of our favorite tours and activities in this destination. This is probably the most important way to sell early check-in, as well as certain tours and activities that you have to book in advance. And I wouldn't be afraid of sending multiple messages, maybe in one promoting early check-in, another linking to tours and activities in the area. You can do all of that prior to the stay. The second place that this information will be shared is right at Wi-Fi login. And that's when it's important to create those custom buttons so that you are highlighting the most highest converting different products here, things that you want to push. And that would be something like late checkout is a great thing to feature right on your homepage here. So guests see it right when they log into the Wi-Fi. And the third is you can use our text, email, and QR code offerings to again share the homepage with guests. I'll show you text marketing because I think that's the best way to do this. When you turn on text marketing in StayFi, you can set up a Wi-Fi welcome text message. This is where you can insert these custom dynamic fields into each message. So this will get sent to every guest upon Wi-Fi login over SMS. And you can see here we have a message that says, hey, first name, welcome to property name, find all relevant information in our homepage. And then you just click these buttons and it will insert the homepage dynamically for that stay. This way, if the guest clicks through the Wi-Fi login really fast, doesn't look at the homepage, you'll go ahead and text that link to them. And then if this person wants to purchase late checkout or check out the tours and activities in your area, it will be right at their fingertips anytime during the stay. The other thing you can do is if you want to have physical collateral in the home that links to the homepage, you can download a QR code for each homepage right here, and then put that on some fridge magnet, sign, other object in the property, physical guidebook, anything you have in there, so they can go to the homepage and see the tours, activities, and services you are offering. But I would say again, most important thing or way to sell things like early check-in, which is one of the most popular items, is you have to send that to the guest or to the booker in advance. And you just want to make sure you link directly to the correct homepage for that property in that messaging. And if that messaging can really emphasize early check-in, you're going to have a higher conversion rate. So finally, just to go over everything again, the first step to get the Hostco and Viator turned on is to get the address data into StayFi, and the easiest way to do that is to connect your properties in StayFi to your PMS or import your properties from your PMS into StayFi. Then you're going to turn on the Hostco and Viator. In the Hostco, we will create all your stores for you. We will populate the links for you on each homepage. You just need to then log into the Hostco, create a password, and customize each store so you're selling the version of, let's say, early check-in that you want to for each property. Viator, we send you instructions to create an affiliate program and all the instructions you need to create those widgets that then you paste into the homepage. Then you need to figure out what it is that you actually want to sell or emphasize across the guest journey. So if you really want to push early check-in, for instance, you want to make a note that in advance of the stay through your PMS or pre-stay messaging, you are letting guests know, hey, you can purchase early check-in here. And then you can link either to the homepage or directly to the early check-in product page in the Hostco. You can do the same for tours and activities or other services that you want to push or offer. Other things people are offering are things like mid-stay cleans, pool heating. So if you want to heat the pool in advance, that could be a service that you let guests know is available, and you could send that in a pre-stay message. So you want to make sure that everything that needs advanced purchase, you're sending and making guests aware of in your PMS/pre-stay messaging through whatever product that is. Then on the homepage, you want to make sure you create custom buttons to emphasize, again, those key services and recommendations you want to make to guests. So you go into StayFi, you create a custom button, and then you hit the bulk editor and paste the correct link in for each property for that specific button. So you can link directly to a tour or activity in Viator, or link directly again to the specific product within each home's Hostco store. Then I would definitely recommend sending the homepage to each guest via text when they log in. So that way they have it on their phone for the whole stay. And then some other areas to consider leveraging the Hostco and Viator would be on your website. So if you're creating blog posts about things to do in your area, if you are, have a concierge service on your website to request things, you can again link to, let's say, Viator affiliate links on those blog posts. And then finally, if you're doing a lot of like active guest communication, answering questions pre-stay, that's another place to naturally link to things like your homepage, to a Hostco product, or to a Viator tour if you're giving recommendations. So I would definitely equip whoever is doing your guest communication with your homepages, with your Hostco stores, with your Viator affiliate program, so they can send relevant links whenever they can to guests to not only provide a better service, but then to also make revenue from those offerings. And then finally, things like the Hostco, you'll get an email every time a service is requested or purchased. So you just want to make sure that you're monitoring those requests and you can answer them in a timely manner. So if someone does want early check-in or late checkout, for instance, you can approve that service right away and collect that additional revenue. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. This will be posted on our YouTube channel where you can rewatch it. And of course, if you have any questions about the Hostco, Viator, or how to make the most of these services, you can contact support@stayfi.com, and we will be more than happy to get on a call with you and help you set up these tools and also make sure that you're marketing them in the best way possible to get the most revenue from them. Thanks again.